Hello crafty friends, this is the Paper Chef here. Welcome to part 4 of my Hello Beautiful workshop series. At the end of this video, I'll show you what we created in the other parts of this series. In today's video, we're going to be creating a shaker card. We're going to be using different products and maybe even make it a little bit different than the one here. So we're going to be using some retiring cardstock. This is just jade. It's one of the retiring ink colors. We're going to be using some designer series paper. It's part of the Abstract Beauty collection. We're going to use this sentiment here. This calls for a celebration, and Memento black ink, but you can stamp in other colors of ink. We use some black cardstock, and we are going to use these shakers that are retiring. I'm not sure. They were on sale. I hope we still have them. If not, just you can use other ones. These are called Sequins for Everything. We use these for shaker cards. I'll take this off so you don't see the glare. Although I'll probably spill them all over my table. Here's what will happen. All right, so to cut the dies out, we are going to use these beautiful shapes dies. So the items I'm sharing right now are part of the mini catalog, which will be available. Well, actually, the mini catalog is available till June. But you know what? This is one of the bundles that's going to be in the next year's. I already saw it. I already saw the next year's catalog. I need to eat one of these mints. My throat is very dry. I actually had these mints out because there was such a glare when you try to take a picture of anything with a little window on it that I was trying to change the angle. Didn't really help. All right, so if you come in, please say hello. And we'll go from there. So let's do this. Let's take just jade. Before we cut it, we're going to score it. I know I'm being unprofessional by chewing here, but I've been a little under the weather, so we have to eat some mints and drink some water. Okay, so let's take this, and then we're going to take out a piece of 8.5 by 11, and then we're going to, the 8.5 by 11, we're going to put it like this just to show you for a second and open up this card and show you which way we need to turn it. I always double check. So when I'm going, okay, so this is the card. We're making this card, and I would like it to stand up because it makes a good shaker card. We're going to also use some foam adhesive strips in there. So because of that, I'm going to get 2 cards out of one 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. But because of the way the card is, I need to turn it so that it's in the portrait orientation. Right? So it's portrait, meaning like that. So now you can see that when you put the card that we're making on top of the 8.5 by 11, like I like to say, I'm a very visual person. So I lay it out. I say, oh, okay. I need to score it at 4 1/4. Why? Because 4 1/4 is half across. And then we can make 2 cards at once. So let's do that. Let's take the little scoring tool out, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. It's just a way to make 2 cards at once. But it only helps when you actually know which way to score. And now if you were making a different style of card, you might have had to score this way. But we're making this kind of card. So now that you see how I scored it at 4 1/4, now I'm going to put this card here. I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2 because I have an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Of course, you can score. Actually, let's go ahead and put the lid back on these sequins. You know what? They're going to get all over my table. You can score using your trimmer. You can score with your trimmer. I think I had a scoring blade to show you. I just don't like to use my scoring blade on my trimmer. But if you have this blade, or not blade, it's a scoring tool, you can put that on your trimmer and score instead. But I'm going to just use my trimmer for cutting. Let's turn it this way so you can see the numbers. So now that we know that we have it scored, we're going to take this card and we're going to make it 5 1/2, which is, we're going to make it 5 1/2 across because the paper again was 11 inches. Anyway, that's how we're not going to score, but let's put that over there. And we're going to put that, and there's a nice line for 5 1/2. I like that. Nice line there for us on our trimmer. So we're going to go ahead and cut this paper. And then you're going to take your, okay, so I cut that. Now I have 2 cards at one time. Keep your trimmer out. We're going to need it again. I'm reaching for my bone folder. Let's grab that. You can use a spatula or a bone folder. So you're going to take your card and you're just going to fold it. Right? Now, you see what I did. And it's just something I do intuitively. Because I scored downward, that's a valley. Now, then when I fold up, that's a mountain. So that's kind of how I do my cards. And I treat every video as an independent production, okay? So when you hear me repeat things that you heard in other videos, it's because although I see many familiar faces, like I just saw Diana pop in, I see many familiar faces here. There's 12 watching already, which is awesome. But I know that there's also always new people because it's YouTube. And so, hey, I like to start at the beginning. Plus, when I do my workshop series, that's part of what I do in my workshop series. Some of my crafty friends ordered a kit. My team members usually don't order kits because they get a discount and they order their own supplies. So I'm supporting like a large group of people trying to make these projects. And I'd like to always start at the beginning because I have crafters at all different levels. So you see how you can use your bone folder to like just kind of flatten out your card. So now you already have a professional card just by doing that. All right, so now let's make our layers. We're going to make the next layer. So we know that this is, you should know, in case you don't know, we're going to put this back down so you can see that. You see this? This is 5.5, okay? Because that's what we did, because it was an 11-inch piece of paper. So this is 5.5. So everything else is going to be a 1/4 inch and then another 1/4 inch smaller. So we're going to go ahead and cut our layers right now. Take your black cardstock. Here, let's just get out a new crisp piece. Basic black. Okay, and we're going to turn. So we need a piece. Let's see. Do we have to turn it? Oh, no, we'll just leave it this way. We're going to make it a 1/4 inch smaller. So this was, let me put some shakers in there. Okay, shake it up a little. We're going to make it, so that was 5.5 across. So we're going to make this 5 1/4. Okay, that's just, I used my duller blade. I should have used my sharper blade. But anyway, that's, I have a sharp blade and I have one that's not so sharp. That's why I keep 2 blades in here. My one that's not so sharp I use for, we're going to do it again. 5 1/4. All right. Now we're going to take this and just make sure before I do anything else. Okay, good. Yay. Just making sure I did it right. I think both of my blades, I think it's time for a new blade, guys. I think it is. These blades have been on there too long. Oh, you know what? My blade package has no blades in it. Oh, no, that's not my blade package. That's my sponge dauber package. Anyway, we're not going to make new blades right now. We're not going to put on new blades. We're just going to, when you get a raggedy edge, Raggedy Ann. Remember Raggedy Ann and Andy? I had those when I was little. Well, I don't know if I had them. I probably had hand-me-downs of them because I usually didn't get my own toys very much. I was one of the younger ones. But my family, we all shared Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls. Let's put it that way. All right, so there you go. So I'm just trimming that little. Now, anyway, then it was 5 1/4 by 4, or this was 4 1/4, the card itself. So this is going to be by 4. We're going to go ahead and make 2 of these. I'm just going to make 2 panels. Then I have another one done. I can make another shaker card. Or if my angle is different on the camera, I can make another shaker card. So, all right, so there we go. Now that's your first panel. So I hope you're doing this along with me. You can use any coordinating colors from your kit. They don't have to be the black and the just jade, but I thought that went well together. Now you're going to take your piece of this. We'll use some of this and we'll use another paper. So this is called In Good Taste. This was a retired paper, but I put it in your kit because that's how I roll. I give you some really fun stuff in your kits. But if you don't have that, I figured you could use this one. And this one's retiring, and this is a good deal right now. So we'll do one of each. This is called In Good Taste. I'm just seeing if I can get the darkest. I'm trying to get it like a really dark one for contrast. Here, I'm gonna take this piece out. In Good Taste is a great paper, and it's half price or 40% off or something like that. I'm gonna use this darker piece. So anyway, we'll just cut both at the same time. So now that we know that was 5 we had that one was, the card was 5.5. This was 5 1/4, right? Hope you're following along. I hope you're tracking. Except I want it to be like this way. And then these are going to be 5 inches wide. Okay, 5 inches wide. Okay, we're just going to keep going a 1/4 inch smaller as each time. That's what we're doing. Okay, 5 inches wide. Now I'm going to make them by 4. And then we'll have 2 of these panels. So we'll go in here. These are going to be 4 across, 4 inches. So now I have 2 cards made. Make them both at the same time. In fact, you can cut 3 cards at the same time. Three of these. I mean, designer series paper. Okay, let's look at what we have so far. Okay. Oops, I must have done something wrong. Oh, that was 3. I needed 3.75. Okay, that's good. We'll write this down for you. I meant to go 3.75 because we need a 1/4 inch smaller. That's good I didn't cut my little hexagons in there yet. Always do this before you cut your hexagons. Okay, now let's test it. So we have, yep. Okay, good, good, good. And then this is my darker one. I'm just trying them in different ways. Oh, yeah, I can't use that side. All right, goody, goody, and that side was like that. So now we are going to write some things down for you. I'm trying to think if I need my trimmer at all anymore. I don't think I need my trimmer anymore. I have to always look at the cards, right, to make sure myself. So, all right, no more trimmer needed because the hexagon, everything else is die cutting. So let's put all this stuff down. We'll get the die cutting machine in a moment. All right. So we had a piece of, okay, let's look. We had this. It's this shape. The card is like shaped like, you know, like this kind of card. Okay, 8.5 inches. And it's 5. And a half. And then score. If I'm doing this wrong, anybody just tell me if I'm messing this up. 4 1/4. Score at 4 1/4. That's supposed to be an @ sign here. All right, so that's the card, and that would be just jade. And then we got the black. This is, we're just being visual here. We need the 5. Let's see, 1/4 by 4. Okay, and then we got the DSP layer. The DSP layer is just going to be one, like still like this, but it's going to be 5 by 3 3/4. All right, so that's what we have so far. Let's start die cutting. We're going to take out the big one. I have to use the big one because of this. Now the small one is on sale, the mini, but we can't use the mini because of the card base. So this is the mini, just to show you here. Let me I need to raise my tripod to show you this kind of stuff. And I also want to show you the sandwich. A sandwich is how we die cut. So let me unscrew this screw here and go up like this and show you something. So we have right now on sale until today. This is March 31st. So we're going to have, by the way, if you're watching this later, what I'm talking about right now is March 31st, 2022. Okay? This is going up in price tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow. But if I'm messed up, if anybody on my team is here, just like I'm a little kind of go crazy, so I'm making sure. But I think it's today, right? Yvonne's here. I see Yvonne. Right? Today it's $48. And I'm pretty sure tomorrow it's not 20% off. Okay, so this is the mini. But I can't use the mini right now, I don't think, because I don't think I can use the mini. Maybe I probably could squeeze these in there, but no, I don't want to try. We're going to use the big one. Nope. Yeah, these. Yeah, it would squeeze in. This layer would squeeze in, but not the outer layer. So we're not going to use the mini, but I just wanted to mention that it's on sale. So it's a good time to get it. Okay, so anyway, but we're going to use the bigger one. And if you really love this big one, a good way to get this big one is with a starter kit, because this one's $125. This one, or no, $120, but it's going up to $125 in the new catalog. So this one is, you could get it for $99 and get free shipping. So this is our big machine. This is, oh, that's heavy. I don't want to stand there and hang it. And that's called they're both called the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. One's called the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss, and one's the Cut and Emboss. All right, so to die cut, we're going to put this sandwich, we're going to put plate number 1 down. You can hear things falling off my table. We're going to put plate number 2 down, because whenever we use thin dies, we use plate number 2. That's the sandwich. We use a plate number 3, part of the sandwich. And the top of the sandwich for die cutting is going to be another plate number 3. So let's put one at a time. We're going to take our black piece and this piece here. And what I want to do is, before I use like glue or something, I just want to take my Stampin', what's it called? This thing. And just so things don't slip. Later I can seal these together, but let's take this piece and go like this. Okay, well later we can use glue or adhere them any way we want. But for now I don't want these to slip apart. But you're going to see why I don't want to use glue yet. If I use glue on all this, you can gunk up your dies. And you don't want to use glue anywhere near your dies, the metal dies. Later you can use glue. So I just don't want these to slip apart. I could use like painter's tape or something, but so kind of center that, like, you know, center it as well as you can. Because you're not going to have a chance to center this again later. It has to be centered the way you want it. Because once you put these down, then they're going to stay like that. So let's make sure I got the right sizes. So we're getting out the hexagons, and I took the 2 biggest hexagons, okay? So the 2 biggest hexagons. So let's do, okay, what did I do? I think I did this. This is how I did it, just to save. I went like that. I think I did this one later. I just got the black part and put it back around the outside. So for this, all right, we're just going to run that through. And then we'll make a little frame out of the other one. So, oh wait, let me also just look at the way I had it. You know what? I think I had it like that. So, you see this window. Okay, or did I have it? Let me just make sure. Yeah, that's the right size window. Okay, it's the second from the largest, and I'm putting it on there, and I'm going to roll it through. So don't worry about the window sheet yet. We're not doing the window sheet yet. We're going to need a window sheet for our shaker card, but this was just a little technique I figured out. All right, so now we're going to take this part out. Now, save these cool hexagons for other things. These are cool. Now we're going to take this piece. We're going to open this up like that. Right, in fact, and I put this one under here. You don't have to do it this way. I could have made a frame with another thing. But if you're saving on paper, okay? I'm not even going to do this right now. I don't need to save on paper. But if you need to save on paper, I hope you understand what I'm saying. If you want to save on paper, get your other hexagon like this from under there. And you can run it back through, and you'll get your other hexagon. But I don't need to save on paper. That was just what I did earlier, is that's how I saved on paper. But I have a lot of black cardstock. So what you're going to do to make your little frame is just do this. Okay, so I hope that made sense. I was just saying, maybe you don't have a lot of black cardstock. Maybe you only have what's in your kit, and you're like, well, Paper Chef, you've been using this a lot lately, and I just have enough little pieces there. So what you would do is take a piece of painter's tape, and to make your little frame, you're just going to get in there and put your painter's tape, you know, kind of center it in there, and just tape them together like that. And that's how you're going to make your little frame. And then, of course, you'll have extra hexagons at the same time. And where's my top plate? All right. And we'll do that twice. We'll make 2 frames. So bottom line is, and I hope you're crafting along with me, this is a little frame you need for the outer part of your shaker card. It kind of hides your anything that might have like oozed out the side too. So we'll adhere this together now, but saying this is our little frame around the outside. Okay? So when I say oozed out, like maybe when you put your window sheet back there, and maybe like a little bit of glue or a little bit of something that got stuck in there. Well, this kind of covers that and hides it for you. We can also put our window sheet in between the 2 layers if you want. I tend to put my window sheet on this part. But that's what we're making, is that little frame. So hexagons are pretty awesome. This is going to be probably one of those die sets that I just keep on using to infinity and beyond because it's so useful. I find this is such a useful shape. And my friend who teaches art, he said one time, I had this hexagon punch. I've had it for years. And anyway, he was like, can I borrow your hexagon punch? My students are making mosaics. Anyway, I said, sure. They used it. And the students, they were high school students, and they made beautiful mosaics using hexagons. So it's just a great, useful shape. Anyway, this is what I'm doing, making the other frame, and then we'll make the other card piece. Just while I'm here. And of course, you're going to cut out the other hexagons as well from your designer series paper, which I'll do as well, a little bit, and I already have some made. So we have that other frame, and then that piece. I'm pretty sure I have enough hexagons from my bucket of crafty goodness that I don't need to cut anymore, but but I do wanted to just show you how, and that you can cut a few at once. So that's all we need there. And now we're going to just do this part. We're going to do the other black piece. Just in case we mess up a card or we end up making 2 cards. You know, I don't know. It depends on time how many cards we make in any given video. This would look nice embossed too. The front panel could be embossed. Raise everything up. So I'm using the second hexagon for my card. Okay, and sometimes when you put your little lid on your sandwich, things slip. So you just got to put it back in there. And you could use tape, but then tape on designer series paper sometimes rips it, and you never know what's going to happen. So I try not to use tape on that. Alrighty, so now let's do, so we got our hexagon, that's our window for our card. Let's do a couple little ones just while I'm here. So I'm just going to take out, we'll just get some designer series paper. I have a new pack. Just so you can see this awesome paper anyway. And I can never have too many hexagons. So let's take, this is the paper. Okay, there's 4 of each. And it's the only paper we have in our collection right now that is 4 by 6. All the other paper is either 6 by 6 or it is, what's the other, you know, or 12 by 12. Okay, this is a good one. We're going to do one of these. I'll show you the backs of these in a minute. And we need, did I pass the little flowers? I'm trying to, oh, this is a good one. We'll use one of those. I'm going to do 3 pages at once so you can see how cool these dies are to use. So one side of this paper is foiled and the other side is not foiled. So I'll quickly show you the other side. There's the one I want. Take a piece of that. So those were the foiled sides of the Abstract Beauty Designer Series paper. And then look at the cool other sides as well. So this is a great pack of paper. I love this paper, and I've probably gone through 5 packs already because of this workshop series, and I just made a lot of projects with it. All right, so let's put the 3 pieces here, and let's get some hexagons. So I'm going to cut through all 3 at once. Put your little hexagons down. You get 2 hexagons at the same time. And we need, let's see, we need a big one of those. Now this one here, let's put that paper on top because I'm going to show you something. Lots of tips and tricks in my videos here. So, because I'm going to be stamping onto that one, right? We want to make sure we put this one in a nice area to stamp onto, see? So put that hexagon right there where you have a nice big area to stamp onto. A nice big white area. And then you're still going to cut through all the sheets of paper. And you can make little triangles while you're there too. Or not triangles. These are called half hexagons. But you could make diamonds, triangles, circles. I mean, heck, while you're there, just make a bunch of stuff because you're already putting everything through the machine. So just use up all the little, in fact here, I wouldn't waste running this through unless I have it all filled up. But I want that on the white area, so we'll move it up a little. Here, we'll do one of these. Okay, you see that? So now I have it all filled with cool crafty goodness. Looking for the, oh no, and that was, my lid's down there. There's the lid of my sandwich. Use that one. So I will have plenty of hexagons to use for this project. And I already have other ones cut. All right, I think we're done all the die cutting we need to do. But look how amazing these shapes are. Amazing. And of course, if you still want to punch out things, you can save these little scraps of paper as well. And so I have this little, you can use like these little cosmetic holders. And what I do is I put my things into my bucket of crafty goodness. We're not using any circles today. It's a hexagon card, but I'll just leave all these out. We might use some of them. All right, there we go. Let me put this machine out of the way. We'll put those, let's put our little shapes down here. Just kind of bend them a little so we have, just making sure nothing's stuck together. All right, so now we're going to get a window sheet and cut that to be a little bigger for the back here. So I'm just getting all my little shapes that I need. Putting all the metal pieces. Sometimes they get stuck in this little metal thing. So what you can do is you can use take your pick tool or your scissors and get them out if they're stuck back there. That's what those little holes are for in your dies. All right, so now you need a little window sheet. So I'm going to take, the window sheets come in a pack of 2, or is it 2? Let's make sure. 2 12 by 12 sheets. I'm just using little scraps I have to see. I don't want to use like a whole big sheet. These are my scraps. So I'm seeing if any of these scraps will fit, which I think this one here will fit. There we go. But I know you guys want to know sizes, so we'll tell you the size. I'll tell you what size the scrap is so you can use it. So it's going to be 2, we'll say 2.75 by 3. Okay? I'm going to make it a little bigger so we have room to glue it. 2, so we'll do 3 inches, 2 3/4. All right, so that's called window sheet. They're only like $5, and these are pretty good plastic pieces. I mean, they're pretty sturdy. And good tips from my crafty friends were like use like a static, what's it called, anti-static sheet. Just making sure I got it big enough. So in case you're like a dryer sheet, because sometimes if you don't use a little dryer sheet, then what happens is like the little sequins get stuck on everything. I have a dryer sheet around here. I'm going to grab it. It was a good tip. I did bring one. So I just kind of tap it around and get some anti-static. It just keeps my sequins from sticking all over it. And it is a little greasy. All right, anyway, now let's put that on the back here. I'm going to use, so you can adhere this together now. So that one you can adhere. So I already did the one end, right? So let's put some adhesive on this end. So I just adhering that together, this layer should already be centered. Now I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to put the adhesive on there. Like just go around there. Getting your window to be on there. Okay. So put your little window on there. So now, so far so good. We got our little window on the back there. We'll do that to the other side too. I'm using a Seal Plus adhesive. I love Seal Plus. It's a really good, strong adhesive. Okay, this is what I talked about hiding. Remember I talked about using this frame later to hide any gook that comes out. Part of the gook that comes out is when you're using your adhesive or your glue and something might like ooze out that little window. So that's what that little frame is there hiding it. All right, time to change my seal. I'll show you how easy it is to do that. Seal Plus adhesive. This is a refill. So what I do is I always leave this in there, never take this out. It doesn't matter how many hundreds of times I've done this. I like to look at where it goes. And I turn it around and go, okay, Stampin' Seal Plus, right? I like to look at that and go, okay. And then I pull this one out. Okay? So that this one goes right in there, right where it was, like that. So it's just a little trick is just, you know, if you're all confused, it's because you didn't leave your old one in there. Doom. That's how easy it is to change your adhesive. And it doesn't even make a snapping sound. I throw that one away or recycle it or whatever you do. Okay, so let's put that. Now the first time getting it out, you're going to have to use your finger to get that out a little bit. You know, to get it to first connect. Connection. Come on. I know you're in there somewhere. There you go. So now I'm up and running with the new Seal Plus. I always keep one ready when I'm doing videos. There's my window. All right, so now I just have to put on my little, this one I'm just going to use glue. you know, because you want to put your little window on. Let that dry. Your little frame. Now this one. I don't know if it's going to contrast very much, this one, because of that color, but that's all good. I'm still going to use it, because even if it doesn't contrast that much, it's still better than not having the frame, right? So I'm still going to use it. I could have cut it out in another color, but you know what? It's already made. So we're going with it. So mix and match. You could have used like a different contrasting frame with this In Good Taste paper, because it's so dark already. It don't matter which frame goes where, because remember, we used the exact same size hexagon that we used. The exact hexagon we used to make the window is what we made the frame with, so it can't help but fit. It's going to fit. No matter which frame I put on which one. I can't see if that's even centered. Now it does look a little scratchy because I used that dryer sheet, but you'll be happy that you used the dryer sheet. Trust me, I'm going to try to get a little bit of that static off. I'm just going to use my shirt to get a little bit, it's a little bit staticky, not staticky, dusty. Because when I use this, a lot of these little fibers stuck on there. But you do want to use it because it'll help you. And sometimes what I do is I throw my sequins like in here and rub them around. When they start sticking all over the window, I put my sequins in there and I just start rubbing them around to get the static off of them. Because otherwise they stick to the windows and it drives me crazy. I don't know why it drives me crazy, but like literally they all stick to the window and they don't shake around. But now this one's doing a good job. So anyway, now you need your little, let me lower this down so you can see the measurements and watch me do the foam adhesive stuff. I'm going to lower this down. What we're doing next is we're making, oops, there goes my sequins. Put those all there. I told you I'm a messy crafter. You just like watch my table start out with like nothing on it and go from like that to complete disaster in like one day. All right, so we need the little foam sheets. They look like, I know I have a bucket of them because I'm working on my next workshop series. I don't know if I want to use this bucket of them. I think I want to use, oh, I have some here. All right. My next workshop series is going to be Waves of Inspiration. That's going to be fun. We're going to make cards with the new Waves of Inspiration bundle. So that will be after this one is over. So what I want to do is I want to first get around. I want to make sure I just go around here with my little adhesives strips. These are adhesive strips, they're called. And you want to make sure they're hiding. Like, don't let it shine through. But you don't want to make the area too big, right? And you can cut these or you can just wind them around. I'd rather wind them around than cut them. But you want to make sure you put a little kind of cubby hole where the sequins can't fall out. See? So make sure you put a little, like, touch that area. So wherever you put the sequins, they could fall out. And you don't want to go all the way out there because then you're going to have to make more sequins. You're going to put more sequins in there. So you just want to go right around the edges of your hexagon. At the end, I'm going to cut it. Like here, I'll cut it. There you go. And then save all these little pieces. Just going to put them randomly about. So now I'm just going to do the rest. I'm going to do some. That's where the sequins are going. And now this is where my card is. So you need to hold up your card. If you don't put these around the edges, you're going to have a wonky card. And for good measure, if you have any extra little, see I have a few little scraps here, so just throw a few in there. You know, just to help hold the card up. All right, we're ready to assemble. Let's assemble. Make sure the card is the right way. So we're going to put this. This is important. Now we're just going to kind of go. Where is this going to go? Well, first we're going to put it down. I didn't take the adhesive off yet, so we're going to put it there. So make sure your card is the right way, and then you can put this there, and then so peel all this off, and then you put your sequins in, and then you put this on. So, but have this all ready. I know you're supposed to use the take your pick tool to get these off, but I don't have it. I don't have it within reach, I don't think. All right, let's see. Did I get all these off? Nope, this one. And this one. I didn't get them all off. All right, to go test it, I go like this. Test, test, test. Just test it all that you got all the backs off. Now, before you put that on, put your pile of sequins right there. These are called sequins for everything. So put your little pile. You got a little cute jar of crafty goodness in your kit if you got the kit from me. And so I'm just adding a bunch of sequins, some of each color. This is a good pack. I probably will get some more of these for shaker cards before these retire. But they have other sequins coming out soon. I don't remember what they're called, but we always have some kind of new embellishment. And some of them got mixed in, but it's like peanut butter and jelly. It doesn't really matter if they get mixed together. All right, so put a little pile of sequins in there. And very carefully, again, static, they're gonna stick to that window. I know they are, but that's okay. Got some hitchhikers there. I'm gonna put this down and center it. And voila, that is how you make a shaker card. Now everything else is icing on the cake. So I can say hi to you guys and you can watch me. There you go. That's how to make the shaker card. Everything else I'm going to show you is just more fun stuff, okay? So I'm going to do it in reverse order this time. I'm going to say hello to Therese because even though she came in last, and then Sandy and Yvonne. Okay, yes, Yvonne, my team member, saying today's the last day that she said she got the regular and the mini machines and loves them both. And today is the last day of the sale. Okay, good. Because there was something that happened until May, and I get the sales mixed up. Because the one that's happening till May was the Waves of Inspiration. But then that one, we've already run out of blue foils, and we've already run out of the gemstones. So yeah, the mini machine is going on today, March 31st, the sale. Hello, Denise. Hello, Melody. Diana said, my kits are awesome. So much crafty goodness. Yes, definitely. There's so many surprises in my kits. Like lots and lots of surprises in my kits. Things I don't even say I'm putting in there. And lots of crafty goodness. So you're going to take the next one, go to Waves. I'll do in my next, probably, I don't know when, my next newsletter, maybe in a couple of days or a day or two. I'll probably announce it. What's the buzz going on with the demonstrators right now is we get to pre-order. We are allowed to pre-order April 1st. So that's what I'm worried about next. Even though they didn't give us a big list of things we can get. We can't get everything from the new catalog. I'm still have to go make my list after this and be ready. 3 a.m. Mountain Time. April 1st, that's when they let us pre-order. Then I'll probably be doing a newsletter. And I'll probably start advertising my next kit just to get them in the mail, even though this is going on for a couple more weeks, this workshop, because I have lots of cool things to show you. So you see what I'm doing. Just sort of making another little cubby for my thing. So Cindy's saying hello from Iowa, and Janet, and Linda from Maryland, and Sharon, who I just saw in another platform, and I see you over here too. So glad you could join me. I have to get another pack of these. Everybody in every one of my kits lately. Every time a kit. In every one of my kits where we make a shaker card, that's the corner of it, you get like a part of a pack of these. So they actually come in 12 by, I think they're like 12 inches long sheets. And I think you get 2 or 3 sheets in a pack. But what I do is I give you like a sample of things. So you get like a sample of dimensionals, not this size, but the bigger dimensionals. You get a sample of these adhesive sheets. You get samples of designer series papers and foils and 6 current colors of cardstock, and then 4 colors of like basic cardstock, like black, white, different things, like sometimes, what's it called? Vellum. Sometimes you get vellum. Sometimes you get things. You always get window sheets whenever we're making shaker cards. This piece is going over. So anyway, you get lots of fun stuff. You always get enough stuff to make everything I'm showing you, and then some. So you always be able to make, if I show you how to make 10 cards in the series, you can go ahead and make 20 cards in the series if you want, with all the extra supplies. And you don't have to do everything I'm showing you the same way, because you might say, I don't like just jade. I don't know well, how anybody can not like just jade. But you can pick any other color out of your pile, because I give you colors. It's a carefully curated kit every time. And the colors coordinate with whatever the designer series paper is I'm focusing on. So for this one, it was these colors. Like you could see some balmy blue in there. You could see some magenta madness in there, right? But then for my next one, it's about waves. So of course there's going to be like Pacific Point and Coastal Cabana. I'm looking for the card. I know we made another card somewhere. Here it is. Coastal Cabana. Lots of blues. Anyway, let's do this card and we'll just do that part. I'm gonna just, that way I can just decorate them at once. So I put it there, make sure the card opens that way. Put my little pile down. Of sequins. They're even sticking on my hand. This is, like I said, this is why I use this anti-static thing to get them off of myself. This is also a good way to get glue off of things. I use these little dryer sheets to get glue off of things. All right, and then I didn't say hi to Deborah yet from New South Wales, Australia. Yippee. Now demonstrators in Australia probably get to order before us because they're a day ahead. They get to order before my US customers, and they always let us know when the sales are. And hello, Marcy from California. All right, I kind of like that in good taste even better, even though it's really dark. I'm kind of liking it even better than the light one. I didn't know I would. All right, so we see that is that. So just making sure. So now we're just gonna do the little stamping part, and then the rest is just kind of like fun little hexagons. So we're gonna get my little stamping thing out, and we're gonna stamp right onto the designer series paper. But we of course always stamp onto the silicone mat first. I like to stamp onto the silicone mat because it makes the surface more even. These are going to be just for decoration, so it might fit on that one. And of course you can always just stamp right onto paper itself. This is a little, I don't know how big the sentiment is. We'll just try it, see what happens. Okay, looking for it. It's over here. Here it is. We're going to say, this calls for a celebration so we can make a birthday card. Don't worry that your stamps get all stained. Especially with Magenta Madness. You know, it stains, that color stains your stamps, but it's no big deal. They're well loved. So we're going to go like this. We're going to put this, you're going to take your stamping block and you're going to mount your stamp to it. Now, I have Night of Navy here, or just jade, but I was really just going to use black like I did for my sample. So we'll just use black, Memento Black. But never stamp straight onto your hexagon because, oh, how fun, I got a little hitchhiker. You want to stamp onto your mat first to get a good coverage on your stamp. Okay? See, it's not as good as I want it to be yet. There we go. See how that was not real dark? Okay, now I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to stamp onto my designer series paper. This calls for a celebration. Because I wanted to make sure I have good coverage before I use the hexagon I spent time cutting out, right? Awesome! So you can stamp right onto designer series paper. I don't know if it'll fit on this one. Let's see. Nope, it won't fit on the smaller hexagon. But what we can do, just because I think I might use, even though this side is cute, I might just use that side and do one of these. Because it's all part of the same. Yep, that'll work. I may stamp it onto something else later, but that's in case I finish those cards. So now we have all these cutesy things. And you just start using your dimensionals to pop them up. Or glue. Let's see what I did for these. Did I use glue? Did I use dimensionals? I think these are all just flat down there because you know what? I know what I was thinking is because this card was already so high up there because of these foam things under there. So the card is already like, I thought, okay, it's already thick. Let's make sure this is the right, see, just double check that it's the right way. Now, when you're going to put something in the mail, right, you want to make sure that your card isn't too thick, because then the post office starts telling you that you have to pay an extra 15, I think, no, it's like 20 cents more it's called special handling. I'm like, are you serious? Special handling. It's all going to the same place, but they do charge you more if it's too thick. So that's why I'm not, I mean, I am going to use dimensionals on this because I'm putting this in packages, but I'm saying if you want, you can just put glue down there so it's not too thick. Okay, so that's why I didn't make this one too thick. But these are going to go in packages because when somebody does my class, my workshop, then they are part of a special drawing. So this is going to be mostly, we don't need that one. It's going to be a prize. But just keep aware of how thick things are. All right, so you get the idea. Let's just say something like you pick a couple themes. So you got the little flower theme going on. You pick a couple themes, and then there's that theme of that paper, and sort of that would look cute. So you just do something like that. Okay, well, you do a flower theme over there. That one is too big. Here, there we go. That's part of a good theme. So I'm going to do something like that. Here. I'm thinking that side. That one could be, or I like the pink. I do like it. Okay, and you'll see how I use the hexagons, the little stickers. See, this is how I like to just arrange. It's like I like to arrange things so it's balanced, right? I didn't want to put two flowers next to each other on that side. So I'm liking it. That's balanced now. And you can use glue or dimensionals. See, leaving little spaces. See, same amount of space there as we have between those two. So there's a little bit of a plan, sort of, even though it looks random. And then kind of all right, I like it as much as my original. And then just to kind of show you, like I would the same process again. So this time I'm going to try to see how the other one would look. Where did it go? I know I stamped one. So we could put some flowers over there and some flowers down here, and then maybe it's still, oh, here it is, still over here. This one I am going to put up on dimensionals. And put it in another little place because I want the big hexagon to be a, well, I don't have to put it there. I can put the hexagon down here. I can put this one still over here. Ooh, that looks nice. Just jade on just jade. And then that one can go down there. So that one's, you know what? I'm just going to go with the smaller. I'm going to go for the smaller hexagons. I think the other ones are too. It's because it depends on where you die cut. You know, when you were doing this pattern, I have other ones. There wasn't like enough room over there. I love all the bling on these as well. And you can color those as well with your little sponges. All right, I'm happy. I'm happy with these. I'm just seeing if I want to do some other pattern there. This one is a little better. Has a little bit more stuff on it. And that one's going to go there. And then I have these little, they're called adhesive backed hexagons. And they're a pretty cool embellishment. All part of the Abstract Beauty collection. So if you don't already have the Abstract Beauty collection, it's like, this is such a cool collection. So these are in your kit too, so you can put some of these guys around. Like right there, put one, you gotta put one on that. And this one needs, I think, a little, I think I need a little half hexagon down there, something to balance it out. Okay, so anyway, now you can either use a odd number, or you can use, like you can either use, or always use kind of an odd number of your sequence, but then you could do like 3 or 5. So to put one there, I'm going to put a black one, a big black one in the middle of that one over here, because that one's so plain. I mean, it's not plain, but it's just black and white. So maybe like that up in there. So now I got 2 big ones. So now I'm going to go for a few smaller ones, or we'll do just jade over there. Okay, and then we'll do another, let's see, another one like that. We'll do a big just jade over here. All right, so there we go. So that's like an odd number. And the cards are done. And then for this one, I don't think I need it. It's just that one is okay. Oh, we could just use some of these little guys too. I don't think the other ones need it. There we go. And now I'm going to show you what we made in the other parts of my series here. But that's how to make a shaker card. Let's see if there are any questions or comments. Oh, hello from snowy Wisconsin. Hello, Leslie. Hello, Deborah. Thank you for thumbs upping my video. And thank you, Melody. All right, I'm glad you're learning new techniques, Deborah. So yeah, that's all you do for the shaker cards, and you can put some sequins on the outside, but I don't think I need it. I just, some of those little, I think this one I'm going to do a little more too. I'm kind of going to do some, I just feel like it needs a little bit more bling on it, probably because of the plain background. So I'm just going to just do this, you know. I'm feeling like it needs some diamonds and some extra half hexagons in different places. That's what I'm thinking. So you might see a picture of that later with a little bit better. All right, so let's get to it. Let's put this away though. Otherwise I'm going to spill these all over. Show you my bucket of crafty goodness now. This is what we made in the series so far. I need to put these away. They're going to be all over the place. All right, part 1. So now what you saw now is part 4 of my workshop series. So now what I'm about to do is go through all the parts and some extras. So this is what we made. So today you learned how to make shaker cards. I hope you now understand how to make the shaker cards and all the materials we used. And of course, that's the same technique I used to make shaker top boxes and other things. Okay, what we did in part 1 is how to use the ephemera pack. We used the ephemera, which is like a lot of pretty embellishments that are part of this suite as well. We did some other die cutting. We did some stamping. We did blending brushes. We did blending brushes and we colored these hexagons. And we used the Pattern Party Designer Series paper, which is retiring soon. That was in your kit. That's this black and white striped paper. And so we made these Hello Beautiful thank you cards is what I called these. So this was part 1 of the series. That's what we made. Part 2 of the series, we created these cards. They're called also part of the Abstract Beauty collection is called the Abstract Beauty Card Pack. And each of these have envelopes. Like there's a pack of 10 cards in envelopes, so very easy to just decorate these. So what we did is I had my samples and we did some stamping and off stamping to make different colors. We used blending brushes again. We used the little ephemera pack again, and we decorated these cards from the Abstract Beauty collection. Then that was part 2. So then you just did part 4. So part 3, we made this mask box. I showed you start to finish how to make this mask box. And I've already given the other one away to my friend Sandra. So it had flowers on it, the other mask, and this one has hexagons on it. So we created this mask box. And I say mask, meaning an actual face mask. This is a face mask. Because the box says, I miss your face. Because that's a cool stamp. It says, I miss your face. So I taught you how to make this box. So that was part 3. So then you voted, and during part 2, or part 1, you voted. No, maybe it was part 2 you voted. You voted to have this next, and we did that next. Then you voted for the shaker card. So now we'll do this one next. This is what we're making in part 5. It's going to be the watercoloring project, where we watercolor the box. So we use watercolor pencils, and we're going to be watercoloring the mini paper pumpkin boxes. And I want to do this next because these boxes are retiring, and we'll no longer be able to get these. And I have these for now in the kit, this kit, and the next kit. But after that, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them anymore. I do like to include them in my kit. So it's a little note card that fits in your box. Plus, you can put treats in your box. So this is the project we're doing next in part 5. right? Then part 6 or 7, I'm not sure which number part, we're going to be doing some cards. I don't know how many more parts there'll be because it depends how long it takes us to do these cards. So these cards I have planned for this series as well. This is using ephemera and this is using watercoloring. We'll probably try to do these at the same time because it's a lot, you know, even though this one has watercoloring and this doesn't, we need to wait for this to dry. When we do watercoloring with these kind of things, we need to wait for them to dry, even if we emboss them. Okay, and then this one, and then this card I may or may not do in this series, but we've done something similar. Okay, so these are some other cards I made with the Abstract Beauty collection. This one I made with some retired specialty paper. I have that as a sample. And then I have courses on different platforms. One is Udemy and one is Skillshare. And these are ones I made in a Skillshare platform. So this is a card I showed start to finish how to make in another card tutorial on another platform. And so I made all of these in that platform. Before I show you what we do in the final part, I wanted to say that you can just take Hello Beautiful, the sentiment from just the sentiment from the stamp set, this one, right? And just put it on any card. It's a great sentiment to have. So just use that sentiment, Hello Beautiful, on any kind of card. I just use that all the time now. I made a lot of these using my ScanNCut in part of my Spring Project Workshop series or Spring Project series. I showed how to make those with your machine. And I don't know what that's doing in there, but that's still cute. This is using the layering diorama dies. It somehow jumped into my bucket. And then lastly, in the final part of this series, I will be doing this here. Thank you, Yvonne. The Skillshare, okay, Janet, the ones on Skillshare are different in that for Skillshare, it's a subscription. And then, so, like, I don't get anything when nobody, like, what it is. Let me try to explain it. Okay, Udemy, if you purchase a Udemy course, you just take the course and it's unlimited and you watch it whenever you want, right? And you watch it in the future and you pay by the course. In Skillshare, people pay, like they subscribe to Skillshare. Like you get any courses, not just mine, but thousands of hours of training. And then if they decide, the people who enroll in Skillshare take my course, I'll put the link later. Then I get, if they watch it, I get paid by the minutes watched. So I don't get anything for developing the course at all. And even if you enroll in it, I don't get anything unless you watch the course. So that's why I have like a sort of a tribe over there that watches all my courses. It's pretty cool. Like they take my courses and they take other crafting courses too, not just mine. All right, so anyway, this is the final. Sorry, I mean another minute. The final thing we'll do in this series is this one. We might do it sooner because this is retiring. So I just want to mention that before I go. I thought I had the punch here. This punch is like, I think it's either 40 or 50% off right now. It's called the Fancy Tag Topper Punch. And I'm going to use it in this series. I can't believe all punches that make tags are retiring. All of these punches. Oh, wait, this is called Scalp Tag Topper? Well, this is retiring too, or maybe it is retired. But the one I used for this is called Fancy Tag Topper. I grabbed the wrong punch. In other words, the punch that I made this with is fancy. It's a little different, right? Doesn't matter. The point is these punches are retiring and it's only like $11.50 instead of $23. So I'll be using that in this series. That's all for now. Thank you all for watching. And we will catch you again real soon. Bye, everybody.